Welcome to the 102nd episode of Sawdust Nation podcast with your guest host, AJ from Crafted and NJ, and I'm staring at the lovely and talented Josh from North Country Woodworking, and Jesse from Jesse Foor Woodworking, and Nick from NPG Creations. So today I am guest hosting, and I'm proud to say that I am on the 102nd episode of this episode. Yes. And so what's going on in your shop, Josh?
Oh, well,
man, I caught him off guard on this one.
Yeah, I don't think he was ready.
All right,
it's not like we do
ready?
this every freaking week.
In my shop. So I have a bunch of different projects, and I have a story for you guys. So we've talked about this particular subject so many times, and I've always stuck to my guns with this particular subject. But this one time, I decided to try to be the nice guy, and it bit me in the butt. So long story short here, I had someone reach out to me, and they wanted a dumbbell, like a legit dumbbell, like a 3D dumbbell. So, I quoted them price. They said, okay. I sent them an invoice. They sent me the information. It was going like it normally does. And I sent the invoice, and that was the last thing that was said. And, the reminders go out, whatever. And I never checked up on it. I was sitting here and I'm like, it's about the 7th, which today was due. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, I didn't get paid. And I already cut the plates for it. I already got the handle turned from Jones Woodworking down the road, Chris there. And I pretty much had all this set up, and I'm about to put it together, and I'm realizing I haven't got any money for this yet. So before I do the engraving, glue it all together, polish it up and get it ready for today's delivery, I messaged the client. And I'm like, hey, according to my records, you have not paid the invoice yet. And your due date's tomorrow. Do you still want this project? Well, basically, she doesn't answer me until about 8 o'clock this morning. And she goes, no, thank you. Now,
wow.
She had a week and a half to say no to this. She had, I think, Square sends like 3 or 4 reminders, and she completely ignored it all. She ignored my previous message of, hey, you still haven't paid. And me being the nice guy, I didn't want someone to show up and basically not have a going away gift. I'm like, most of my clientele has been really good. They paid me. I haven't really had to worry much about it. But as soon as I said, you know what, I'll be that nice guy and complete the project or close to it and get myself ready, because she probably forgot, and no, just plain out didn't want it. So that was a stupid move on my part. And I'm going to put it together and actually put it on the shelf in the shop with get paid first sign underneath it.
I like it.
And just as a reminder. But
I'm sorry, man. That sucks. I'm not trying to interrupt you, but I would have probably phrased my question to her differently. Instead of, do you still want it? I'd have been like, this is how much you owe me. Please pay me. Not even giving her a chance to ask. You know what I mean? Like, this is what you ordered.
I didn't anticipate. Yeah. I didn't anticipate her saying no, because the conversation was going in such a way there was no indication of her not wanting it. She knew the price.
Did she give you everything you needed, like dates and all that stuff?
Yeah, wow. I literally had the dates and the name mocked up and ready to laser. And that's when I was like, maybe you should double check this. I still haven't got paid, I don't think. And I look in Square and I'm like, yeah, it's overdue. It's just mind blown. I didn't foresee that. I've had some weird customer issues lately, and I'll dive a little bit more into this other particular customer. I got a client that ordered 2 projects from the squadron for me, and one is a shadow box. And they send me a picture of a shadow box, and we go through the the normal back and forth. And they want to put the stuff in. They just want a blank shadow box, nothing inside. Later on, they're like, "Hey, I'm assuming you're going to do the plaque that goes in the shadow box." I'm like, "No, that was not part of the price at all, because you said you wanted nothing in the shadow box. That'd be $20 more." Okay, that's fine. And then today they reach out and they're like, "Hey, we're going to drop off the stripes and the ribbon rack and all the stuff to go in it. I'm like, man, with all due respect, the invoice, our conversation says that you're going to do this particular thing. So I don't know what it is. I was going really good with my clientele. They were, communication was flowing. And then all of a sudden I've been getting the ones and twosies that are just not going as expected or has in the past. So that's kind of like my woes when it comes to my clients right now.
Man, you ever been stiff, Jesse?
So I actually had a similar story about, I had this guy reach out to me that wanted this custom sign design for his home gym. And he had all kinds of ideas how he wanted it. This flaming skeleton thing lifting a bar that was bending. And I did custom 2 or 3 different iterations on different woods and sent him all the images of it. And then he agreed on, yep, I like this one. This one's great. I said, okay, it's $125 or whatever it was. And 2 days later, he finally got back to me. His wife said that was too much to spend on a home gym sign. So
Jeez.
I did all this custom design and everything for him. So after that, there is now a design fee for any custom signage. And I take payment up front before I even spend, because that was hours in, design software making that up. So yeah, it happens.
I honestly didn't put much time into this dumbbell because the design was fairly simple. I mean, like you just needed a couple plates in each side. You know what I'm saying? I made the one so basically it capped off the handle. I mean, like it took me 10 minutes to design it and easel and get it on the CNC for print. Did
you have everything in writing?
Still,
was everything on Messenger for her?
Oh yeah. Yes,
bro, man. Oh man, I would have probably lost my freaking on her. Excuse my language, but
I haven't wrote back because the only thing I can continue to think of replying is thank you for wasting my time.
It's honestly not even worth it because as Nick was talking earlier, to even go off on a customer, honestly, not even worth it because you got enough stress going on between, other orders and whatnot. And now you're stressed more because now this order fell through and it wasn't any of your fault. It's just wipe it clean and then move forward. I had a customer do that to me during Christmas. I don't want for a flag. They were like, I need a flag. No and kidding. I'm going, okay, here it's all done and everything. She goes, 2 weeks later, she finally gets back to me and goes, I have been real busy and whatnot. I'll pick it up this weekend. Another week goes by, just ghosted me. I said, screw it. So I sold the flag elsewhere.
You could, I don't know how this works because I've never gotten this far into a business part of charging people for stuff. But I'd be like, hey, look, you have 90 days to pay this per the invoice because the service was rendered or the product has been made. Or else I'm sending it to claims or collections. That could
over. I forget how much.
It's like $30. That's over $30.
$250. Okay, no, but it's not worth. I think AJ nailed it. It's like it's not worth a reply, and my business here is a lot based on word of mouth. Yeah. So if I either go on there and I tell her
it's going to get around.
Yeah, a couple of different words. Yeah, it's going to get around, and I'd rather just be silent. And I used some cherry. I did, and it's going to go on my wall. I've only made this mistake one other time, and it was at the very beginning. And I bought a tool, and then the job fell through, and I had the tool, so I kind of won out, but I paid out of the pocket for that tool.
You had to deal with the wife too a bit. It's always it
wasn't. Yeah, well, it was in the beginning where everything was out of pocket. So yeah. And I swore to myself that day that I would never do it again. And Lord behold, I did it again. So I guess I should have known better. But like I said, I've had a really good run. I've had a lot of great clients in the past, and it's just I didn't want that rush today or even last night where I'm running around trying to accomplish something because life happens. Easily forgot, and it's just ruffled my feathers a little bit on that one.
Now, I do have a question about that. So what if you have a repeat customer, somebody over and over and over and over again, and they request stuff like that.
Different.
That's different.
For me, it's different because there's only a few that I can think of at the top of my head that can, and I will allow them to pay like half up front or a quarter up front because I know they're good for it. There's only one or two that I would allow to do this, and it's because they've ordered literally thousands of dollars worth of stuff over the last multiple years here, and I trust them, they trust me, and that's how that clientele works. And one of those being the hammers. I've had it with the hammers where they pay me half the price of multiple hammers, even though those other hammers weren't technically paid for yet. Because, I mean, at one time I did like 14, 15 hammers. Oh, yeah. That's a lot of cash for them to collect.
Yeah.
So some of these clients, I allow that. But, I mean, like, I'm also dealing with the top three, and I'm dealing with organizations that, like, if they didn't pay up, I can easily get the rest of the money.
I mean, repeat customers. I mean, if I got a couple of them, like Josh was saying, they'll order something and I won't even take payment. I won't even take a deposit, no nothing. And I've had it where this guy ordered, I think, 3 things from me, already got them. You know, he paid me every single time he saw me. And he ordered 2 more things, and he's constant. He always wants something new. And then I have somebody up the street from me who she is excellent. She literally pays me if I asked her for the full payment today, she would pay it. But I have no worries because I know I'll get paid eventually. But then you got other customers who you just look at them and you go, I want the whole thing right now because I don't trust an ounce of you. You know, but I still struggle with that because I'll still take a small deposit. My deposits went up. But I'm nowhere like.
What are they now?
They were 50, and I think I'm doing 100 or 150. I kind of feel it out.
So. I like the 150 because that lets you know if they're serious or not. Are they going to walk away from an investment of $150 or $50? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Well, I had somebody walk away from a flag that they deposited $100 and they wanted it for Christmas. Then apparently the guy said he was going in for surgery and didn't want it right then and there. And he said, I'll reach back out to you. And I completely forgot he gave me a deposit until recently. So, I mean, I'm going 6 months ago that he gave me a deposit or even further back. And
I mean, you should deliver the flag to him on his surgery bed, the table.
I'm going to go
when he's under the knife. Be like, hey, can I get that? That
payment? It was a 4-footer that I actually turned into a usable flag, so it was nice. But yeah, I mean, repeat customers, especially if they're good, why not treat them like gold? Because you know they're going to keep coming back, and then they're going to spread your name all over the place.
Just AJ busts in. He's like, "You got money for surgery, but you don't got money to pay me, mom. my flag." Sorry, Josh.
Don't be sorry.
So. No, this is a lesson I hope that people learn because I think everyone here has experienced it at some level, and it sucks. That it's just.
Can I jump in one more time because I'm going to be the annoying guest?
Yeah, man, go for it.
Since we all started out, not as a true business, it's kind of funny because as you're talking, as Josh was just explaining. This is how we all get these different things. Now, Jesse's charging for a design fee. Josh is going to charge for, whatever. And then Nick is just going to charge for some nice pictures or something like that. But with that, every
sausage
step of the way, what kind of sausage? Hot sausage or sweet sausage?
Italian,
nice. Italian. I guess I'll be getting hit up later. So, but like every step of the way is a new, something you didn't think of. Now I'm going to charge for a design fee because I already got screwed over once or twice, and now I'm not going to anymore. Now I'm going to charge for a setup fee or, an hourly fee, something like that. It's nothing you think of in the beginning until it happens to you, and then you're like, screw everybody. I'm just going to charge everybody for that same exact thing that one person did to me.
Yep.
So, but yeah, that's all. That's the annoying guess.
I have a respect for other people's setup fees now.
Yeah.
Before I was like, man, you want me to pay you $25 just so you can tell me how much this job's going to cost? But now it's like, hey, I feel you, bro. And by the way, it used to be hot sausage, but then I got a penicillin shot. Anyway, go ahead.
Go.
Nick, you're actually approaching that level of makerism, essentially, where you're getting. Yes, I actually got the shirt on.
See it.
You can't see it.
I was
It's
thinking
fake.
too much of that hot sausage. How did that go with makerism?
What are you talking about, Josh?
What I'm trying to get at is you're getting equipment now that is almost commercial grade, where you're going to actually start doing, you could have the potential to be doing large jobs. You're going to be doing a different level of business that, we are currently doing now. So the lessons we've learned up to now, we've had, shared on the podcast. We talked about, we each have design fees now. We each have different fees, but we're going to be seeing a growth from you that we haven't touched yet because of the fact that we have got the CNC bed size you have and stuff like that. So it should be interesting to see how that plays out with your pricing and different stuff with your business side.
There is,
because we learn from each
there
other.
is price raises coming.
Mm-hmm.
It's just I have to wait till the dust settles to figure out what I need to do to cover my overheads on a lot of things. So.
Anywho, let me finish up real quick so I could toss it at one of you guys. Long story short, I'm pretty busy this week. I have some things I need to ship out the end of the week and get completed before the end of next. And it's just one of those things where I need to get in the shop and get it done. I have a lot of changes and stuff happening at work. And then I took last weekend, Sunday off so I can go fishing with my little one. And that was a good time. Got sunburned the whole 9 yards and caught nothing, but we had a good time. So that's all that matters. But with that, let's go ahead and toss it over to Jesse.
All right, guys. I have a lot of shadow boxes. I just finished 2 in the last couple weeks. I have some orders right now for some charcuterie boards, similar to the ones that I've made before that are on my Instagram. And then I just made one for my girlfriend that will be pictures coming soon. Walnut, cherry, and maple. And then I used my awesome new laser that my girlfriend bought me because she's investing in the shop because she's a rock star, and use that to laser engrave a design on the front that she wanted. And so I just finished that up, and there's a guy at work talking to me about building a shadow box into an entryway table. So That's going to be a fun build, cross between a shadow box and furniture, 2 things I enjoy doing. So hopefully there'll be cool pictures of that coming up on the Instagram.
Tell them about the 2 boxes that you made already on your Instagram.
Oh yeah.
Those are legit. If you haven't checked them out, you need to see his Instagram.
The latest one. Thanks, Nick. The latest one was for a colonel who retired after 30 years. It's funny. We were talking about pricing and customers changing things. She actually changed it on me about 15 days before her retirement and made it so I had to build the whole box bigger because she wanted an extra tray inside from what we originally talked about. She paid for it, so it happens, but it definitely caused a little bit of crunch time. Josh, you said about doing stuff last minute and last night. So literally the night before her retirement ceremony, I was trying to finish the box up, and we had one of the signature pop-up Midwest storms. All of the power went out. As I was assembling the flag box for inside the lid. Oh, wow. So I sat in here at my kitchen counter using a flashlight like a lantern and putting all of the ranks and her medals and everything in the flag box in the dark with no power the night before her retirement. So nothing like finishing a box last minute, but it came out great. Beautiful box, I like to think.
Yeah.
So
is that the last one you
It is,
posted?
the walnut and maple.
Yeah, that's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it is a beautiful box.
All lasered with that laser I was just talking about too.
Which one is that?
It's the Ortur Laser Master 2 Pro, I think is what it's called. It's a really long name.
Yeah.
I have an Ortur as well that works really well.
I love that thing.
I store it underneath my OhmTech.
Oh my God. Have you even started?
No.
Not even out of the box.
No, it still has the protective film on it.
July.
No, it still has
July
the protective
it's
film
getting
on
done.
it. I store the Ortor, the best laser out there. The OhmTech is like, that thing's just, it's a paperweight at this point. It's a good shelf. I have to say, nice and flat
I'm glad to hear you're
surface.
still not opening tools.
All right, so the
July.
AJ
July,
is no longer
Victor from Wind Designs and I are going to his house, and we are installing and setting up his laser for him, and then showing him how to operate it.
Why?
And
It's
align
operating
it.
fine.
And then
The key goes in. I can turn it. I make pew pew noises, and then I shut it back off, and I'm good.
Oh man, AJ,
you should put your diode laser inside it.
That's
and
a
then
good
just use it.
idea.
Might as well.
I'm going to do that
Just
from
use it
now
as a
on.
baseboard.
you need to put a reel on Instagram of you doing that, and then tag both companies.
Oh, now I know what I'm
Be
going to do. Oh man, that's going to be fantastic. Maybe that's just
Oh,
how
man.
I'll use it from now on. I'll just call it like an Ohm Ortor. New brand.
Oh, man.
I know. It's fun. It works really
You
well.
got to set it
looks-
up. It's a really fun little laser to use.
Well, it looks nice. I get to say to people that are like, hey, look at this laser that I got. It's not set up, but look at it.
It's a status symbol now.
It
It's
is.
just all it is.
I've only had it for
For
a
your-
short time.
Put the Porter
I
cable.
think I've only had it.
Put the Porter cable dovetail box inside the laser. That way you can keep all your tools you're not using
idea.
and just
That's
having
a
the
good
box
idea.
together.
I still have that dovetail jig maker if anybody
Yeah,
wants
it's still
to
in
buy
the
it.
box.
Yes,
It is for sale. It's brand new, never been opened. Actually, I lie. It has been opened. Yeah, why not?
It's for
Anything's
sale?
for sale. You want to buy a laser?
I just
Never been used.
I honestly might just buy those things.
The water chiller's never been turned on either.
I'll buy it for 50%
All right,
off.
whatever. You want
He's
it?
just giving it away.
Yeah.
Everything must go.
He's got to make room for more boxes he's never going to open.
I gotta buy. I did buy something recently, and I don't remember what it was, but it's still in the box. I don't remember what it is.
I remember going to your shop and you're like, "Hey, I got this, and they're also in the container." I'm like, "Why don't you open
Well, I
any
got
of
to.
this?"
It's pristine.
Yeah,
It's
I'll
like
do it
buying
later.
an antique car years ago and just keeping a garage kept. You don't
Oh,
want to
jeez.
destroy the value of it. You know how much that OhmTech's going to be in like another year? Probably half,
year.
but Well, I'm already.
Dude.
It's October. Will be 1 year since I got that. October. Yes.
No, July. Victor and I are coming down there, and I don't care. We're gonna go. We're just gonna do it. We're not even knocking
No,
the door.
no.
We're
I
just
need
gonna
to
walk
wait until the
in
1
and
year
do it.
anniversary of me receiving it. So warranty is
You realize-
completely up.
Yeah, you realize. Yeah, you gotta make sure
It works.
that thing works,
works.
before your
It's-
warranty's
it's
up,
fine.
or else
It
if
works.
it's dead, you're out,
No,
man.
no. The thing works. It's an OhmTech. How could it not work?
Yeah, but it might not be OhmTech's fault if it was dropped by the freight company.
No. I watched the guy.
True.
I watched him on the cameras. Kim was there. She almost got ran over, but she was there.
Oh my goodness, AJ.
Anyway.
What else you got going on in your shop, dude?
Who, me?
Yeah.
I got a laser.
Yeah, you.
Two of them, actually.
How's the flag business?
Flag business is taking off like wildfire. I can't keep up with them. And this is the reason that the OhmTech's not set up is because I'm about, like I was telling Josh not too long ago, because we had a private conversation on the cell phone, that I'm about 3 months behind on orders. So it's going really well. I'm keeping up with
That-
orders, getting them out on time.
You'd finish those flags a little faster if you had that OhmTech laser running.
No, because I don't do anything on the OhmTech anyway. I wouldn't even
You don't laser your flags like the emblems and stuff?
like so rare. I've done maybe
Okay.
one or two.
Will the
I don't
OhmTech
think
do like
this is
variable
like
focus?
getting him.
I'm sorry.
No,
Will the OhmTech lasers do variable
Sorry, no.
focus? Could you like carve the waves?
You don't need to. So if he did it right and the wave height was about the same and not too deep, it would be able to actually do an image or do a logo. As long as he ain't really doing really fine lines, the wavelength might
Yeah.
adjust a little bit, but he could do a tracing. And as soon as he sets it up and does it for the first time, he's going to do the same thing he did when he got his first laser. He's going to be like, "Why didn't I do
already
this
have a
earlier?"
laser, so I know what a laser does. It shoots out a laser beam, it engraves into the wood, and then I have an image. Except
Hey,
the Ortor is
AJ
giving me issues now, so I might have to hook up the OhmTech. Yes, Nick.
Uh-oh. What's it cost for a small flag nowadays?
Small flag. It's actually quite funny because I have that question that somebody sent to me. and it wasn't you.
Oh,
But a small flag, small red, white, and blue, I am charging $325 plus shipping.
my man, I am so happy for you, dude. I'm so happy. You used to be charging $300 for a large flag.
Yeah, buddy, with
So-
the painting.
With the painting. I'm so happy for you.
I was so scared
Dude.
to raise my pricing, and then I do $325 for a small, $425 for a medium, $525. I go up $100, and then once I hit 4 foot, that's it. I'm at least $950 for a 4 foot red, white, and blue because I hate doing them.
Yes.
So, but
I'm so happy for you, dude.
yeah, buddy, and I'm getting every dollar of that, which I'm happy about because I mean, literally. I never thought in a million years, and I told this to a few people recently, I never thought in a million years these flags would take off the way that they did. Everybody's making flags. Every single person you meet is making a flag of some sort. But they're not making wavy, or if they are, they're not like so good. And then, so I tried stepping it up and then becoming my own. And if you look at my flags today, even if I posted it on a random account, one that I just made, Big D whatever, you would know that it's my flag. That's not a secret account that I have or anything like that. Don't tell Josh. But
Some big D's are us over here.
yeah, these are us. So if you saw my flag or a flag, you would know that's mine. So it's pretty cool that I'm seeing people wanting my stuff. And you know, I was talking to Kim recently. I'll go, I got to change my style up a little bit, and she's like, don't. That's what people want. And people are literally coming out of nowhere for these flags. I'm getting orders left and right still constantly. Somebody posted one up and they go, I want one. And I'm like, okay, here's how much. They're like, that's fine. Whatever. Just make it and ship it out. I'm like, I can't start until October. They're like, whatever. Just get it done and send it to me. I'm like, okay. But yeah, Flag Misses is taking off. I got a 6-footer. That I just did, and that one, as I'm going to quote Victor from Wim Designs, he asked if I would ever do a 6-footer for the right price ever again. I would charge a lot of money for that thing because I undersold this thing a lot. How much would you think that you would charge, Nick, for a 6-foot?
For your 6-footer?
Yeah.
So if I was putting all that time and effort into it and risking blowing through all that lumber, because once you take that cut saw disc through it, it's over, right?
It's kind of
if
sort of
it punches through.
If I punch a hole through it, yeah, I'm done.
Yeah. So I would charge for 6 foot. I would charge $2,000 for a flag.
All right, I'm not that far off. I'm still eating myself on this one because I only charged about $1,500, and it's definitely not as much as I thought. And after a whole long thing, I needed 4x4s because I thought I was going to need the thickness and all this. That just literally
Was that cedar?
Yeah, all cedar.
Yeah, dude. That's another thing. You're not using pine anymore either. So your cost goes way up.
Those cedar 4x4s.
Yeah, I didn't have the cedar piece of that information. I was thinking 1,500 too, but cedar, at least $2,000.
I was thinking 2,500.
If I was going to do it again out of the same exact material, I would definitely do at least 25 to 3. And
yes,
because I literally, I'm making nothing on this one. I mean, you know, granted, I'm still making money, but once you step back and look at it, you're like, that's $1,500. I'm like, it's like $50 I just charged. But yeah, it's going good. I can't complain. You know, life is good. It's busy. Very, very busy. I got some fairs coming up. I actually did my first fair a couple weekends ago and sold absolutely nothing. Not a damn thing. Literally.
Did anybody walk in your tent?
Yeah, a lot of people. People looked at it. I had charcuterie boards up the wazoo. I had cutting boards. I had flags. I had this, that, the other thing. And everybody was like, oh, wow, look at this great stuff. Okay, thanks. Didn't even ask pricing or anything. But then the cupcake lady next to me was selling out. And I'm like, well, why don't I just have cupcakes at this point?
It's damn cupcakes,
Cupcakes for $3,000 for a cupcake. No wonder nobody could pay for your shit. No.
Yeah, I was hearing this lady. She's like, that'll be $200. And I'm like, what? I got a charcuterie board that's less. But anyway, yeah, I got another fair coming up. And then just a whole bunch of stuff. Literally. I have more flags than I think I can even count on all my fingers and toes and knees and head and shoulders.
We're still working.
Yeah, trust me. Once I go past 10, I lose count. I think I go backwards. But yeah, everything's going good. And while I'm here, because I have been trying to do a little bit more better pictures and content, not filming because I still suck at filming, but my pictures. I actually had a question that was sent in to me, and it was by a buddy of mine, Knives by Nuge, and he makes some really nice custom knives. They're cut out on a water jet, and then he finishes them all up, puts the edges on them, makes his own handles. Really, really nice work. And he asked me what kind of equipment I'm using to film my content and whatnot. And right now, I'm just using my phone and also a Canon 5D. I think it's a 5D. Yeah, 5D Mark II. So I'm taking my nice pictures with a nifty 50 lens, and they're coming out really nice. I have to say, it's kind of upping my picture game a little bit, which is kind of nice, seeing those nice pictures up there. That's one thing I learned. Definitely nice pictures go a long way. Right, Nick?
They do.
Nice.
I need to update my picture game because most of mine's in a dirty garage. They're all in like all my reels and stuff show like a filthy garage behind it.
Yeah.
So, or a filthy shop. Which I mean, at the end of the day, I'm done with the project. I'm more inclined to people looking at the project, like thinking that they're gonna like pay attention to the project and not all the clutter behind it. But
well, here's one.
Same time.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Whatever. I think that it would probably benefit me if I had a cleaned up backdrop. You know what I mean?
It would, but
backdrops are inexpensive, man. Just go on Amazon and pick the one you like.
could. But the one
my PR/QA department, also known as Ashley, gives me what for about that all the time. I'm terrible with taking pictures. First of all the pictures are just horrible. The lighting's wrong. The angles are wrong. There's always dirt in the background. And then half the time I forget to put them on Instagram.
Oh, nice.
So I think I'm just going to start taking a bunch of pictures, and I'm just going to give Ashley the login to my company Instagram and just let her run it because I am so bad at it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the other thing is you can have a nice clean shop and you can literally have it sparkle and then have your project there. But when I look at like YouTube videos and I'm watching like somebody with this immaculate shop that looks like nothing has been done in it, I kind of go like, what are you doing? Like, what kind of work do you do? Yeah, I'm seeing the thing you're building, but like, I mean, if you had junk, legitimate junk, just, garbage and whatnot, sawdust and whatnot, who cares? But your stuff is so beautiful, and you're beautiful, Nick, that it really negates the fact that you have all this sawdust everywhere because you're a hardworking man and you put out nice content.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm a hardworking man.
Hardworking man. Gorgeous.
Hardworking man. Thank you.
Yes. Anyway.
I please go on.
So, but yeah, that's really all I got in the shop. The Ohm Tech will be hooked up probably by like late 2024, and I'm going to toss it over to Nick. How's everything going, Nick?
Yeah, I'm in sunny Illinois, and I gotta say, I stepped off the plane. I got on the plane in San Antonio. I stepped off the plane in Illinois. It's freezing here. What is it, like 90? Jeez, almighty! It's warm here. It's just not as hot as San Antonio. But I like to give a shout out to Jesse for letting me crash at his place. We're just kicking it this week, talking about woodworking and stuff like that. And yeah, for the most part, it's that month again. So, I'm the little spoon. But long story short, I finished up a couple projects before I left. I finished up a military training instructor hat board. Never done one before. And it's got Knapp kind of turned over the reins to me for that because he, obviously he's unavailable. So I did that. I handed off to customer. They were happy. And then that shadow box, that large chief shadow box I have on my Instagram, I did a lot of work in the week up until I left. So, and then when I get back, I got to hit the ground running. I've got a lot of walnut to mill up and get ready to rock and roll because I'm getting a that trunk rebuild is going to be complete, and the podium is going to be complete by the end of June. And so other than that, though, I'm just enjoying myself here in Illinois with Jesse at the Jesse Foor Woodwork Beat Laboratory.
Nice.
What he won't say is that what he's actually doing here is teaching a light burn course because of my new laser that I am inept at running at.
Got a question about light burn. And have you ever taken a picture? I mean, of course I've done it, but have you ever taken a picture? Maybe you needed it for the CNC, but put it into light burn to trace it out, because Vectric is horrendous when it comes to trying to trace out some pictures. But Lightburn, for some reason, like takes these horrendous pictures and really makes a nice SVG file out of it. So you
do it all the time, man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, all the time.
Nice to know.
I abuse Lightburn. That's how much I use it. So it's so pliable for 2D. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
Anyhow,
I design all my stuff in it, and then I export it for the CNC.
Well, at least I know. At least I know it's doable. Do you have to do anything specific once you get the SVG? Just export it as an SVG.
You export file as SVG, save it to your computer, and then upload it into. Are you running through Vectric? Or are you running through?
Yeah, through.
What are you running through?
Oh no,
yeah,
not through Vectric. Through a G code sender.
G-Carve.
Yeah, you're going to just import it like you would any other SVG.
Yep. Okay.
Adjust your depths and then send it through the G code sender.
Send it, bro.
Yep. But so I do have to say that our 100th episode items, half of them are out. The other half, I ran into some issues with packing materials, so those will be out here as soon as I get back. My apologies to the folks who are waiting. You have not been forsaken. You have not been forgotten about. But we do have some folks that did receive some of their stuff. I believe the Pone CNC spindle kit arrived this week, right?
I didn't get it.
It did.
Yeah, well, we know you didn't get it. I'm trying to think what else arrived this week. A couple of other big items. The router sled, did that get there?
The Craig table, was it 64x64 table arrived. Let's see. I think the coasters, right?
I didn't send any coasters off yet. I have them in a box waiting.
Okay. Well, yeah, there's been a couple things that got delivered this week to some of the winners. I know that they're very excited about their winnings.
Yeah. Please, I ask.
We'll get the rest off.
Please bear with me. I am one guy. I actually everything was at Nap's house for a couple of days after the 100th, and I was like. He messaged me. He's like, "Hey, dude, I need some help sending this stuff out." I'm like, "Oh, okay, I'll help you out." And then I pulled that stuff to my house, and I was like, "Oh man, I'm leaving. I gotta go." So it'll be another week. I apologize. That's on me. Anyway, sorry, not sorry.
Anywho, yeah, they'll get their stuff as soon as possible. I mean, people have to understand we're all busy. I mean, we all have primary jobs we're doing, so it's not just. Yeah.
But yeah, so it's like old times here. We got AJ on the podcast. I don't know if you guys noticed, but if you're listening,
come on,
say
they had to have noticed. I only interrupted how many times?
I know, right? Do we have any other questions that came in, AJ?
No, I went through all of them. You stole one of them, and then I just went through two. So
I hijacked one.
Yeah, it's all right.
Oh.
You're out of questions, but I do have a short.
All right, let's talk. Let's talk.
Okay, so through the last couple clientele issues I've had, I've been wondering a couple different things that you guys may or may not do. Now, we kind of hit on it a little bit earlier with like a setup fee. I was actually thinking about something similar, not something crazy, but like if they really want me to design and send something, maybe just the design fee for that ahead of like the price. Because I'm getting to that point where wasting time is not. I can't do it. My time, I'm trying to spend as much time with the family as I can. I have a lot of work stuff going on and shop time is suffering a little bit, but that's okay. I need to do that balance because, priorities, but I want to make sure it's worth my while when I sit down and do these designs because I have literally designed entire pieces, much like Jesse has. and they've not wanted. Now, most of the time I could take that design and use it other places. It's not just a one-time deal. But I'm noticing more and more people are getting a little more tight with their money. And some of the clientele that I'm getting, I'll get a no more often than I used to with some of the standard stuff, because gas prices alone, I think are affecting some of the pocket change people have. So do you think that's a good idea? We're getting to that stage.
Absolutely.
Should we start doing that?
Absolutely.
Or wait because
No.
people are paying a lot more for everyday items.
Do it.
Absolutely.
What?
Yeah. If somebody wants a live, laugh, love, or a dance like nobody's watching sign that you can download the image off Google and throw it into whatever program you're using, sure, don't charge that. I think for anything that's custom, especially because they're going to have a picture of it in their head the way that they want it designed, and the first time is never right.
Yeah.
So I think anything custom that gets ordered from me, there's a design fee for. I'm not doing design work without them paying for it.
How would you try? Because I use invoicing. Do you send them a separate invoice or send them how would you go about doing that?
Absolutely. Use your invoicing system, $25, $50, whatever fee, and then you can add that to, or if you tell them look, this is my fee for designing your project, you can do it one of two ways. If it's going to be an ass pain, which you pretty much typically know about it beforehand, if it's going to be a pain in the rear, just invoice them for the project afterwards on a separate invoice. But if it's going to be something that is doable, it's just, it's going to take a little bit of time to do it. You can roll that fee into the total price, and you could say, hey, look, so this invoice is going to be for the design fee, and then I will take this much off of the total price of the item. But what you don't tell them is you just jack the price of the item up, the amount of the design fee. So when you take it off, you're making the same amount of money.
Yeah.
And that's not just, that sounds kind of deceptive, but at the end of the day, you're doing this not because you're just a nice guy who likes to make stuff for people. You're doing this as a service and creating a good for somebody who needs to pay for your expertise and your experience and your overhead and your time. So that's my 2 cents.
Yeah, we hit on this. I got bills to pay now with the shop, so I'm paying bills for the shop. I'm not trying to price gouge people. That's far from what I'm trying to do here. I'm just trying to make sure I get my time paid for, essentially. What do you think, AJ?
I don't charge anything like that. Even if I had to, I had to do a wedding cake little platter thing. It was out of walnut, and customer knew exactly what they wanted, which was really, really nice. But I had to design all the engraving that they wanted, and you helped me with that, Josh, because you gave me the font that I couldn't find anywhere on the internet. And, I spent some time designing it, going through all these different fonts, and I did a test run on it, and I just charged her, what I thought was right for the piece, and kind of lumped all that into it. But yeah, I don't have any design fees. If it was really intricate, which I know I wouldn't get into, maybe then, because if I'm going to spend a full day or, even a half a day designing it, then yeah, I'm going to have to charge. But you can send them an invoice. As we were talking, think about it. Even screen printers, they all charge a setup fee and whatnot, because now they have to set up the machine specifically for you, and they have to, design your logo or whatnot. I think Sticker Beat even has a setup fee, if I'm not mistaken.
That being said, though, I have a magnet for my truck, right? So I got it's 16 inches.
It's not 16 inches. That's a false tape measure. False.
Do you know from experience,
it's
AJ?
Millimeters. That's what the
CM
is.
means centimeters, John.
Centimeters.
That's the guy measurement versus the girl measurement thing, right? Anyway, so it's a 16-inch circle of my logo that I have on the side of my truck. It helps when I deliver. When my truck pulls up, they're like, who that person is. They know because my sign's on there. And plus, honestly, I've run into people while I'm driving, or even at
run into
shop
people
at,
while you're driving.
Not run. Yeah, not
it
over.
runs the people over like,
In.
I make woodwork stuff. You want to buy it from me?
I throw scraps at them as I go by. But long story short here, I want to get, the other side, and I can't find any company willing just to produce one magnet. So I was actually looking at Sticker Mule, and the minimum is 10. But it's actually not that bad. It's for like $120 for 10 16 by 16 magnets for your vehicle. But I don't know what I do.
Could you
10.
just buy
That's the
one
issue.
white magnet
Yeah.
and laser your logo on it?
Great minds think alike. That's what this is about. I was about to say that. I could do it for you on my own tech.
In 2025.
2024.
Oh.
Yeah, he has a goal. You could, but this is like it looks like a sticker. That's the quality of it. And I want it to be able to match. But if I could order one giant sticker, then get the magnet, cut it out, that might work. But again, there's a minimum quality to it, and so I don't know. I'm thinking about doing, because like I said, it's $120, and I'll get exactly what I want, and I'll just have extras.
Throw them at people.
I don't know.
Start sending them.
He's
to
gonna
the paper.
frisbee them.
That's
He's just gonna be like,
I'm not gonna lie. Look, when it comes to stickers, when I was ordering them constantly, I will go to the different ones and I will literally see which one is cheaper with the promo codes, whatever. Because I hate to say this, but between Sticker Beat, Sticker Mule, and is it Sticker Wolf?
Yeah,
I think it is. They all make really good stickers, and I haven't really seen. I mean, they're high quality. I'm looking for a good price. But recently, we've done stickers on veneers, and I honestly like that better. 100%. I can make them myself.
Mm-hmm.
I can make them as big or small as I want, and it's just, I know that 3M material that veneers on isn't going anywhere. I use it for acrylic. I've done multiple projects. It's the stuff that Nick turned me on to, and you can get it from Maker Stock. They have different veneers there. So it's worth your time, especially if you have a laser like Omtech.
I have it.
AJ.
I have it. It's there.
And I like the way Josh is thinking here, because that just leads us into the promo code that we have for makerstock.com. And it is active. We are brand ambassadors for makerstock.com. They give you 10% off. Sawdust 10. It's a one-time promo code though, so load that card up with as much stuff as you possibly can afford, and then hit order.
It's worth it, honestly. If you haven't used it, just use that one-time promo code. Check it out. Fast delivery, great quality. I mean, I've been ordering from them for a while now, and everything I get from them is high quality. They're going to be releasing some other new stuff throughout the year. Can't really get too much into that, but it's definitely worth following what they're doing.
Reach out to them on Instagram too. They're really receptive to people who ask questions. So.
I mean, just to us. I mean, like they videoed messaged us back for our some of the questions and stuff, which you don't really get from a lot of the companies.
Yeah, that's true.
So I guess the last topic I wanted to kind of hit on during this podcast, this episode, since we have some other perspectives here. I know Nick's where he wants to end up. I mean, you can see his progression. My progression, because I've talked about it, and where I want to end up with woodworking. Jesse and AJ, what is the future? I mean, like, what do you guys have? Are you going to continue this? Is this going to be something that you're just going to allow to grow naturally, or do you have like a business plan? What's your end goal?
Take it off, Jesse.
So at this point, it's still more of a dream than a plan. The business is growing here. I'm busier now than I've been probably ever. I'm still horrible at marketing it. I need to get better at that. I know I need to establish more of an online presence, probably an Etsy shop, definitely get better with Instagram. The goal is to do all of that. I'm building a shop at my house back in Delaware. So when I retire in just over a year, I will be officially retired. I can move back to Delaware right around Christmas. So I'm hoping to move back to a brand new shop. Going to increase some equipment and some productivity. The hope is still to grow this into an official business. This is what I want to be when I grow up. I just am not moving in that direction as quickly as I should be.
Quick question for you. Are you, do you have an LLC, or like, are you official business, or is this still that hobby?
I went as far as establishing a tax ID. I got the paperwork to do an LLC and never filed any of it. So I do not have an LLC yet.
You heard that, IRS? No. I'm playing.
Well, the funny thing is, I got a tax ID, and I don't make enough money to need one.
Well, at least you have one.
Do you know how much money you're supposed to? How much money are you supposed to make before you have to file?
I don't know off the top of my head.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe you had it.
I think Jersey's like $5,000, ain't it? That's something pretty up there.
According to my accountant, he was telling me 10 grand.
Oh, wow.
He goes, if you don't make anywhere near 10 grand, he says you don't have to worry about anything. So
I do know that number is all net as well. So any of that money that you immediately turn around and put back into the business is all tax deductible, and it does not count as your net.
Yeah. Anything you hold on to, unless it's cash.
I don't take any cash.
I don't know what you're talking about, IRS. I don't have any cash under my mattress.
Oh, man.
Now I got to go move that.
Which mattress?
Anyway, the one that has no bed frame, because I'm still building a bed frame as well.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, buddy.
You should order one. You should order one online and have it delivered and never open it.
I probably
Just lay in the box.
I'm trying to look around to see. Just plop the box down, and I'm like, wow, this is the best bed frame ever.
I
Eco-friendly.
just pictured you getting one of those like Casper mattresses that comes rolled up in a small box.
I got a purple
And
mattress.
you're just laying fetal position on top of the box.
Mine came like a big sausage. It was all rolled up into a nice bag, a heavy bag at that. And I should have just left it in there and just laid on top.
Well, if you
Very
would
firm.
have kept the plastic on, you'd never really have to worry about the mattress.
Yeah, you'd never have to
Yeah,
worry
dude,
about
once,
anything.
Once you take the plastic off, it goes everywhere. So
Yeah, that's pretty much it. So what was the question? I'm sorry. Oh, where do I see myself in the future? No one knows what the future holds except the future itself.
We got deep.
like that.
Like that, right? Yeah, deep. What I'm doing is, of course, I would love to go full time with this. I'm putting it out there, that it's going to become full time. Not that I hope it would, because I mean, the way it's going is people are going to want these flags for a while. Even if with everything rising, I'm still surprised that people are ordering what they're ordering. I'm giving quotes out and they're just accepting them. I'm like, you realize gas and diesel are pretty high right now. And they're still just ordering $700 flags like it's nothing. Hey, more power to them and better for me.
You could do. You could run a Ponzi scheme. Just be like, "Yep, give me your investment.
Yeah.
Give me your investment," and then like change your company name. Like, no, I don't know what happened.
Crafted in J2. That's my name.
Yeah. It's crafted in NJJ.
There you go.
And it's like, then I just start spelling J out. Anyway, but yes, I would love to take this full time. Right now, I actually went through a big change in not my sexuality, but in my job, because what you think I was going to do? Just come on here and not even never mind. But I went through it. Yes.
That was a big step
that's
for you.
scheduled for. Yeah, it was. I'm getting it lopped off.
Josh specifically said he didn't want to spend 5 hours.
He's
editing.
got it.
We're past that. We might as well just go with it.
So anyway, I'll make this real quick. But I went through a big change at my job because I was a service manager, and then I decided that if I was going to stay the service manager, I was either just going to shoot myself or quit. And so I said, screw it. I'm just going to go back on the floor and become a mechanic again. So now my day job has gotten more stressful and more hardworking. And now I come home and I have zero energy and zero motivation. I would love to take this full time and make something out of it, but I foresee that the flags are going to at one point peter off. And now I'm going to be stuck with the decision. Do I continue to make flags and maybe sell them as stock, or do I venture into something different that I'm making either some kind of furniture, or I'm not like a meticulous woodworker. Carving flags is kind of nice because like if you screw up, no one really knows. If you build a piece of furniture,
you just put it in another fold. You know what I mean?
I've screwed up so many times. I'm like, wow, there was supposed to be a wave right here, but I just lopped it off. So, but yeah, I don't know. Hopefully the future holds that I'll be full-time and where I can just stay at my house and not have to go anywhere and work from here. Eventually I'll get the laser set up, and then maybe that'll become a integral part of my woodworking.
We'll never know.
Because then I could do small things. Yeah, I'll never know until it's hooked up. But that's another thing. I was like, I have an Etsy shop. I was using it. I sold a couple things on it. And honestly, word of mouth and Instagram has made it 1,000 times easier. And it
absolutely. For you,
it
man.
showcases everything, literally right in one spot. I don't have to worry about listings. I don't have to worry about anything. And it's free. I know it's 20 cents, but it's still like I don't have to manage another page. The future is bright, young one. Wow, nothing. God, geez, this is a hard crowd.
It's true.
Yes. Josh,
So,
thoughts? Deep thoughts?
Well, I mean, I think we've established what I want to do full time, but I mean, I'm LLC. I'm kind of in it for the long haul. It's just one of those things where I'm trying to figure out, how I want to go about doing it, and the pricing and stuff like that. That's what I'm trying to figure out, and hopefully, I'll learn and grow. And I think I'm gonna go back to school and get my business degree, and get a little bit more knowledgeable on the business side because, well, you could always be smarter. And I got the time before I get out, and I could apply for more education. So,
Why did you go LLC?
So I went LLC because I actually have some government jobs.
Because of that guy?
I have jobs that I do on base for the squadrons that they use their government purchase card. And yes, I could have got a tax ID, but it looks better and it's easier to process as a company versus just tax ID. And it's paid off. I actually have a job with a maintenance group this month. I need to do a patch about that big, and then some frames, oak frames, and then just kind of rearrange their leadership board. I'll be done with that project. So
the question might be, can you guys look back and see something that took you from where AJ and I are to where you two are? Because I feel like, especially like Nick and I are on very different levels with the number of sales, the level of production, all of that stuff. So is there a thing or a turning point that you can look back on that took you from this is a hobby I do after work and make some money at to this is my business?
Nick?
Yes.
Agreed.
I got to a point where I was in order to get larger purchases from like said government entities, I needed to have a company or a sole proprietorship. And in order to protect myself, I went ahead and did the LLC instead of sole proprietorship, because if I get sued, they're suing NPG Creations. I'm not going to have to worry about any of my possessions being taken away because they're suing my company. They're not suing me. They won't bankrupt me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If that happens.
Yeah.
So, but that being said, that's like obviously worst case scenario. Say like for some reason I ever get a company car or a company lease and I hit somebody by accident. Say I have a project that was prepared incorrectly or, God forbid, like haphazardly, say I ever take on employees and stuff like that, and something falls off of a hanging wall and seriously injures somebody, then, if they got like a plank sticking out of their eye, then I'm probably going to get sued over it.
Like,
but
just tell them that it happened at their own home, not that it happened at work.
But so so here was the turning point for me. To answer Jesse's question in a more direct manner instead of dancing around it, the reason the turning point happened was because I needed to make more money. I wanted to make more money, and in order to do so, I had to establish. All right, because the government pays larger amounts of money to us for contracted jobs, I guess you could say. And without that, it has to be all private org funds. And private orgs aren't well funded, like most of them aren't well funded. So you get a GPC purchase. I mean, if it's September and they've got like 30 grand to spend, sky's the limit. But, you're trying to get money from like the top 6 or top 3 or whatever booster club. The limit's the sky. However much people put in, that's how much they can afford. So anyway. That's all I have to say about that.
So hit upon that. The turning point for me was I started to make, it's pretty much almost the same story as Nick here. I started to make more and more on the jobs, and I was getting uncomfortable with the amount of money that I was coming in. And with the government jobs and different things that I was getting asked to do, I wanted to ensure that my family was protected, I was protected, and I was able to do these jobs and get paid appropriately for them by the government. And because that's what I've had so far. And, I got to pay taxes. I have to add taxes in. And sometimes like the government charge cards are tax free and whatnot. And I just roll that back into the price, to be honest with you. But long story short, it's for protection of my family and so that I can increase my business, because doing this podcast and doing this last couple of years, I put a lot of money in that shop. I put a lot of time and effort in that shop, sweat, you name it. And this is something I truly want to do is like the rest of my life. Like I want to be the old man that sits in the shop and whittles on the stick and like barks at my son, hey, you are doing that wrong. I love this. I love this job. I love this hobby. And it's something that I found in my life that like, no matter what happens at work, wherever it happens, anywhere, I can go in that shop and it's okay. I've messed up in there and I've had a bad day at work, but I still go out there and it's still okay. It's truly a passion, and it's something that I want to continue. And people keep buying my stuff. Until they stop buying my stuff, I'm going to keep working. And even if they don't, I still have to catch up with the house projects. So, yeah, let's wrap this up and start with our sponsors.
All right, you are, Josh. The Sawdust Nation podcast is brought to you by PWN CNC. Check them out at pwncnc.com for that ultimate aftermarket spindle experience. Also, for 10% off your order, 5% off your order, go ahead and use promo code SawdustNation981. Is that it? Yeah. For 5% off your PWN CNC order, use promo code SawdustNation981. And once again, we also want to thank TotalBoat. Thank you for your continued support. Check them out at TotalBoat.com. And for 10% off of your TotalBoat order, go ahead and slide into the Sawdust Nation podcast DMs, and we will give you the hookup. And once more, thank you to our affiliates, OhmTech Laser and Makerstock.com. And Makerstock.com, 10% off promo code. One-time usage is Sawdust10. And Josh, go ahead and tell them how they can get a hold of us.
Well, if you want to get a hold of us, you can do it on Instagram. We have 2 makers joining us today, our guest hosts. We have AJ from Crafted NJ. You can reach him on Instagram. You have Jesse Foor Woodworks. You can join him on Instagram, hit him up. And when he posts more pictures of his products, we can comment on those. You have Naps Naughty Works, LLC, which is not here today, but I know our prayers are with him while he sets up his new household and everything else. You have Nick from MPG Creations, which you were still waiting on the mustache, man. When's that going to happen?
Yeah, it's not Mustache March.
Yeah, no one cares.
November
We
yet.
just want the mustache back.
I'm going mustache.
Who wants a mustache ride?
And then myself, Josh from the Country Woodworking. You can always hit me up on Instagram. Or you can hit up the 3 main hosts on our Sawdust Nation podcast page on Instagram. And you never know who's going to answer, but that's half the fun. If you have any questions or anything you want to send in, you can do it on Instagram, but you could also do it from our Gmail account, which is sawdustnationpodcast@gmail.com. And you go ahead and send in some voicemails or anything you want for the podcast. Just keep it clean. Lastly, I want to hit on, if you are a Patreon, you could be in the chat right now, writing to us, telling us how we're doing, mentioning a topic idea or a question that come to mind as we're recording, because you get to sit in on these live recordings. So it's a good way to interact if you love the podcast.
Well, I was going to say, there is this thing called Apple, and they do reviews. So if you wanted to, because this is the best podcast ever, so you have to leave a review. I don't know how to leave a review because Apple doesn't like me. But what I would say is go to Apple, listen to the podcast, leave a review, because if you don't, I saw that furious cat that you have behind you. I saw it before. Walnut the cat will find you, it will force you to write a review. And there's only 5 stars. And 4 stars, 3 stars, that's all broken. 5 stars is the only one you can do. So leave a review. Let everybody know that Josh is a handsome, handsome man. And then a shaved head. Anyway, I think you need to grow a mustache, Josh. That would be the ultimate mustache. Anyway, with that, leave a review or Walnut the Cat will get you. And I don't know who I'm going to throw it to, so I guess either Nick. He's pointing to Jesse, so Jesse, you go.
Give your final thoughts, brother.
Well, hey, thanks for having me, guys. Enjoying the week up here with Nick. I wish we lived closer. I miss him being in Jersey and me being in Delaware. But always love the podcast. I hope you guys keep it up. And thanks for having me. We're going like every 65 episodes or something like that. I'm back on. So I will see you at 167.
Sounds good, man. AJ, what do you got for final words, man?
I got really nothing. I got a lot of bills that I have to pay after this. Final thoughts.
Final thoughts? All right, folks. I don't know who you are. I don't know what you want. If you're looking for a ransom, I can tell you I don't have money, but what I do have is a very particular set of skills. Skills that I have acquired over a very long career. Skills that make me a nightmare for people like you. So if you order now a plaque or a shadow box, that'll be it. I won't search for you. I won't find you. I'm just playing. I was doing the Taken scene. Anyway, you remember Taken?
Yeah. We got it, man.
That's okay.
We understand.
So what I don't understand is why they call it Taken and just not Amber Alert. But anyway, long story short, take care of yourselves and each other. And until next time.
And with that, final words have been said. Thank you for joining us for the 102nd episode. And our special guests, Jesse and AJ, taking your time out of your schedules. Thank you for listening to the podcast and joining us. Listen as you're going to work, making that cup of coffee in the gym, in the workshop. We don't care how you listen or where you listen. Just make sure you have us whispering in your ears. And with that, Sawdust Nation is signing off, not for the last time, but for this time. Sawdust Nation out.
You should probably listen during coitus.
That'd be kind of weird. Yeah. Hearing your own voice in the background.
That would be terrible. That would be terrible.
I mean, I listen to Nick.
I
have an entire Slow Jams album that's just Nick saying shit.